Oh my gosh. Oh wow. It's a difficult question to answer because a lot of people get pissed at me. But, okay. My favorite artist in the fandom is the same favorite artist out of the fandom. That would be Stan Sakai. Stan Sakai created Usagi Yojimbo back in the 1980s, the heroic tales of a samurai rabbit in feudal Japan. His comic captivated me in my younger days. I adored it. It was one of the driving things that kind of got me to furry fandom. You know, funny animals don't have to be funny anymore. You can tell real stories with them. And it was not until about 2004, 2005 that Stan came to Anthrocon and kind of started associating himself a little bit more with furry fandom. I wouldn't say he is a furry, but he certainly is one of us. I still adore his art because he tells stories through his art that absolutely just that are unbelievable. If I had to say a very, very close follow-up, you might notice I tend to admire the storytellers.
Yes.
People draw wonderful art. Here is a beautiful character standing there doing this. It's pristine, it's detailed, it's great. It doesn't tell a story. Stan tells stories with every little drawing he does. Every caricature, every tiny little doodle tells a story. And similarly, in Australia, Dr. Jenner, who gave us Doc Rat, he is telling stories. He's got a story arc going right now that it's got me biting my nails. You know, I can't get any work done in the mornings. Is it updated? Is it updated? Is it updated? Oh yes, it's updated. Now I can get to work. Yep, I need my stories.
Yes.
I'm hooked on Heroes.
Yes.
I like Heroes. Every once in a while they get a little creepy, but they still have the ability to make me go ah! in the middle of the episode, which I like. Favorite movie? Oh boy, I don't get to see that many movies these days. Busy.
Right.
Oh boy. We'll come back to that one. I'll be in the middle of answering a question sometime. I'll suddenly blurt out, "Oh!" and I'll tell you what my favorite movie is when I remember what it is. Favorite band or musical artist? My musical tastes are eclectic. I can't point to one person and say, I like all this guy's stuff. I can't point to one genre and say, I like all this genre. My music tastes go from the Baroque era up into the 1970s, really. I kind of stopped listening after the 1970s because everything became I don't like that. Because it makes me dizzy.
Yes.
That is an inevitability. It will happen just on its own. You can't make it happen. You can't even try. Just be yourself, have fun. Eventually, people will have seen enough of us that it'll be, they're the furries. Furry fandom is where Star Trek fandom was about 25 years ago. It was freakish. It was, what the hell is this? Why has that guy got Vulcan ears on? People reacted because they'd never seen anything like it before. Now, Star Trek fandom is like the science fiction fandom. It's the first thing you think of when you think science fiction. Just because of familiarity, they have integrated themselves into the mainstream, just as anything over time eventually will. Yes, negatives to being a mainstream fandom, and here I run the risk of looking arrogant or cliquish. Right now, furry fandom, as much as it is very, very diverse, is still very much like a giant extended family.
Right.
When you become a mainstream fandom, you start to bring in people who maybe have a different idea of furry fandom, or who aren't even really furry. You look at them and say, what the heck is that guy doing here? You sort of stop being a community, and you will eventually become more like a populace. Diversity is wonderful, but we still currently have that that cohesive, insular feeling to us. It will happen. It is also an inevitability that more and more people will start coming into the fandom. Maybe they don't even give a rat's butt about furries or something, but it's a big party. You know,
Right.
They go because it's fun, even though they've never seen a furry comic. They don't know what a fursuit is. They just go to hang out. That's the mainstream.